Hi, Scott Orlin with Cinema-Magazin. Once again, another one of August Wilson's incredibly powerful plays is being brought to the big screen. This time under the guidance of George Wolfe. George, congratulations. As we are focused on Ma Rainey, I have to admit, as a music person, I didn't know who she was. So, what did you know about her?
Well, I knew that she had a very successful career. I knew that she had a spirit of entrepreneurship because she owned theaters in Georgia. And I knew that she recorded records. But then when I began to dig into her, I didn't realize how extensive she had I have records of where she would tour around each year, and she would travel all around. And there is a rumor, I think, that which some people have not confirmed, that she was that Bessie Smith was a protege, and that in fact they were lovers. I don't know if that hasn't officially been confirmed. And I knew that, what I didn't know, I didn't know certain details about. I'd seen pictures of her with the gold teeth, and she wore a gold necklace around her neck, and she had this devoted following in the South. And then she had a devoted following in the North. But by the time where the year where the film is set, 1927, her visibility and her viability was starting to fade a little bit. And she was being usurped by Ma Rainey and by a number of showbiz and blues singers who were working in East Coast rap, who traveled and performed in Newark and in New York City. And I also knew that and she was an out lesbian, and unapologetically so. And she wrote and sang about it. So that was what I came to learn as well.
Blues music is so particular. I mean, it definitely is an American art form, so to speak. But can you talk about how interesting was it for you to present it? Because, I mean, we've all seen pop music and we've seen country music kind of showcased, but blues music is very specific.
Well, I think what most people have a connotation of blues music of what it evolved into in terms of the 40s and 50s and 40s and 50s. And, you know, there wouldn't be R&B without the blues. It's rhythm and blues. So it is at the core of so much of what we consider to be popular American music. It's at the core of it. So it was just fun trying to also capture that sound and both the sophistication and the rawness of it. I personally love blues music because blues singers, famous ones and not so famous ones, would chronicle history. There are blues songs about the Titanic. There's blues songs about a flood passing through town. There's blues songs about love. So that very frequently, when you were looking for the stories that would exist about things that would happen to Black Americans, they wouldn't be in history. They would not be in history books, but they would be in the blues. You know, there's this ongoing rumor that the reason why the Titanic sunk is because they denied passage to Jack Johnson, the prize fighter. That isn't true, but there's a blues song about it. So I just love the fact that people just wanted to tell their stories.
I just have to ask you really quick about Chadwick Boseman, because obviously if one was chronicling, there'd be a blues song right now that would kind of do that. How blessed were you to have his presence in this movie?
Oh, he's a glorious actor. He was a joy to work with. I hate saying was, because my memory of him and the sense of him is so present that it's very challenging for me to speak in the past tense. He worked brilliantly hard. He was very nurturing and supportive of everyone that he worked with. A generous, gracious, as gracious and grand. He was very gracious and grand in countenance, but the heart was so full and so deep and so vast. It's an extraordinary experience.
Well, thank you for your graciousness, George Wolfe. The film was called Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and this is Scott Orlin. Till next time.